Once guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're reacting to the 4th episode of Remake Our Life. This one's titled Consider What You Can Do. Okay, yeah, consider what you can do. We've done a lot of that actually already in this show, and I could assume we're going to consider that even more because last time out we saw the 3-minute. Well, we didn't see all of the 3-minute piece, unfortunately. It would have been nice to see like the actual completed work, but maybe that would have been a bit too much effort to actually put together. I was hoping they'd do something like Azaken in that sense, but they kind of sort of didn't. Like, they did something similar, but nowhere near to the same effect, I think. But it was still an interesting way of showing it, and yes, they used stop motion a series of images anyway, stop motion-esque, to show what it was, and they had a very limited amount of actual filming due to the limitation of phones of the time. In which we can only do like 12 seconds of a video, I think they said it was, they could use. So we got that for the train going past, so we did have an actual motion shot, because getting stills of the train moving, I don't know if they actually could get a decent... I mean, it's 2006, I feel like camera quality is sufficient that if you set up the camera correctly, and you have the know-how to set up the camera correctly, you could probably capture a train moving past at speed, and have it like actually appear quite clear. But also, you need a little bit of motion blur, otherwise it'll be hard to tell movement and direction, I guess. So, it's just easier to film it, I suppose. But yeah. We get our piece going. It does very well. It doesn't win outright, obviously. That goes to Kawasagawa. Is that how you say her name? Yeah, Kawasagawa's group, I believe, was the one that ends up winning, as she kind of said she would. Part of the reasoning why it ultimately didn't do quite as well is the instructor, who actually is the bigger sister of Kawasagawa, pointed out that it very much was like a slap-together plan of to fix something that went wrong. Like, she could tell that this was not the original intention behind the piece, this is just what got put together and somehow managed to work. This was not the best of everyone's abilities put together into a piece of work, this was one example of someone salvaging the best they could out of a situation. And whilst that was still a fantastic work, she knows it could have been better, and the original piece could have even won if that had been pulled off properly. And it was very much a chance for Kyoya here to have his abilities recognized, because this project very much hinged on him and his ability to edit and get this all together. It didn't hinge quite so much on the original plan, Nanako's performance, or anything like that. Like, they were all important parts, obviously, but it ultimately came down to could he salvage it, and he did. So with our second project, of which Kawasagawa will be joining us, now we have a chance to get the actual talents and performance out of all of us in a proper way, and hopefully create a work that is at the top. That's the plan, anyway. Also, last episode was focusing on Nanako's singing, I believe, and getting her, or starting her along the path of becoming a singer, because I believe that's what she is in the actual world that Kyoya's from. In that time skip, she goes as Nana as her handle name, which is very much like a singer type of thing, and I think that was her role. We obviously got Shinamaki's role as a artist cemented, and Kyoya's having a major influence on both of them. Kyoya is there to listen to Nanako singing and help her improve, and also puts the idea of maybe posting her stuff online, which ultimately is what kickstarts her online career, I suppose. And obviously he's saying he really wants to see Shinamaki's art because he loves that art, fully aware that he's seen pretty much all the art she's going to create for the next 10 years, in theory. He will recognize each piece, but he's having an influence on what they're doing to conform to what he actually ultimately ends up doing, so it's just kind of interesting how he's filling that role, and having an influence on this platinum generation, knowing that he's going to be the one that sets them all on this path. Like, they obviously set on that path sooner or later themselves anyway, but he might be kickstarting it a little differently. I don't know how much we're meant to read into the time skip idea of this, whether it's going to have any actual implications, like, because whenever you do time travel stuff, there's always, like, the butterfly effects and everything that comes on with that. Like, okay, are we creating a new universe where things can be different from the original? Or is everything going to proceed as it was in the original, except now we're having an influence? And, like, do we care about butterfly effect, all that stuff? So, I don't know if we're meant to read too deeply into that. This feels like a turn your life around and, like, character building and coming of age type storyline. That's what it more feels like. So I'm assuming you're meant to be focused more on that aspect of it than the time travel aspect. Time travel aspect was just a means to get him back here to sort his life out. Because maybe they thought if they made him closer to the age of the target demographic, it'll be easier to relate to. Because having a 28-year-old try and turn his life around is not going to be as appealing to a teenager as a 18-year-old that's entering college now and is trying to improve his life. So I guess that's part of the reason why. Also, just makes the girls, yes, more attractive to the guys that will be reading or watching this, more than likely as well. So there's always that. But anyway, we're going to load the episode up here. As per usual, these are time-based format access here on YouTube. If you want to see the full picture and pitch, you can go to my Patreon down in the description below. £4 per month gives you access to all Patreon picture access I do on the channel, which is everything from the current seasonal lineup, as well as Patreon request shows such as World Trigger, Symphogear, and Lock Horizon. They will all be coming out this week, don't worry, just in a slightly different time from when I originally planned them, because I'm still working on catch-up, and my catch-up, I always feel like I'm so close to getting caught up, and then something else happens and I have to delay it, so, you know, things happen. Real life sucks, just put it that way. But we will get to all the Patreon quest shows this week, I promise, because I can't afford to drop another week of them. I will never hit my targets if I drop another week. So, anyway, here on YouTube we do time-based, so bottom left of the screen is the time of the episode. I count down 3, 2, 1, play. On play site episode, I site episode, and we should be in sync. Watching this one on Crunchyroll, since they're the ones who licensed this series. No logos or anything, we're just straight into the episode, looking at the reflection of the ocean in, I'm guessing that's Kyoryo's glasses. I guess we're on the beach for this shoot, I'm gonna guess, or we're just having a break between semesters, one or the other. But you can use screen flash on my face, the mic, or this part of my headset to tell when the scenes are transitioning. That should help you sync it up as well. So, with all that said, let's get into this week's episode, shall we? In 3, 2, 1, play. Yep, next project. We've got an actual film camera this time. Disagreements, okay. Yep. Creative differences. I don't blame her for sleeping. Calm yourself, boy. Yeah. It is all up there. That's what he's thinking. Oh boy, here we go. Oh boy. Jesus Christ. Idiot. Don't try and grab. How do you think that was going to go? these swimsuits make a little bit more sense for this shoot. Alright, here we go. Train back. Yep, quite the outline on your face. Mm. Hmm. Right. Yes. Huh? Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Who the hell's this? Oh, hello. Wait, what? Wait, what? Oh boy. Yep. Okay, go, okay. Oh boy. That's gonna come at the worst timing as well. That was a very quick introduction thinging, but whatever. Piano Plus. We get to see none of it, that's a shame. Hmm. Hmm. Seem to like it. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Wait, what? Wait, what? Huh? Mm-hmm. Hmm. True. Hmm. 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 He's doing okay right now, but hmm. I mean, yeah. Well, obviously. Eh. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't. Oh boy. Hmm. I mean, yeah. I assume we've had plenty of time since then. It's probably still not going to be fantastic, but and we get to hear none of it again, or are we just about to hear it? We get to hear none of it again. Hmm. Oh shit. Okay, we're just gonna. You're being a bit of a bitch about this, Kazugawa, I think, right now. Like, why have this moment in front of everyone like this? Hmm. What else do you? Yeah, and you don't have anything to fall back on. That is true. Kyoya can relate with this, I guess. Hmm. Hmm. I think she's projecting a little here. Honestly, I wouldn't have. Yeah, I wouldn't have tried to stop her. Yeah. Hmm. I don't think she will want you to quit. I think Kyoya is going to get a conversation in there before that happens, or maybe not. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Much better ways that conversation could be initiated and then carried out. Hmm. Hmm. Know what that's like, Kyoya? Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Concert, okay. $8,000 strong, Jesus. Jesus. Wow. Mm-hmm. uh, what do you do? Okay. Jesus Christ. Oh boy, what is it? Uh, uh, oh boy. Really? She's here. What's she here for? Ah. The... How old are you? Okay. Oh shit, okay. 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 Hmm. It's quite the opportunity. Gotta reject. Okay. Hmm. That's one way of putting it. Okay. Yes. Oh, okay. Go after it seriously, okay. Mm-hmm. We're gonna get her to sing on it. Okay. Hmm. I love the kind of monochrome we got here. Not quite monochrome, just the lack of saturation. Hmm. 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 Okay. Hmm. Mm-hmm. At they're on our path now. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Getting proper lessons is a good start, though. Mm-hmm. All right. Good episode. It felt a little fast with some of the cuts. I don't know if that was just me, but it felt like we very abruptly switched between scenes at times. Not like to the point where it felt like we were missing out on content. It just felt like instead of like having a couple of seconds of like lead in of like just establishing background shots and just like calmness, maybe introducing the next music track if we're having background music. It just felt like that we were switching a little fast. I don't feel like we necessarily missed out on any like character development or anything, but just felt a little faster than some of the other ones. Alright, there we go. So yeah, it makes more sense now, this little end bit, because I just realized, because as pointed out, and as I kind of just realized in the first part of this ED, they do have this to start it, so it makes sense to end it with it, but I still felt like they missed a trick of having like an episode 5 title here, sort of. thing going on with it. It would make a little more sense, but whatever. Yeah, another good episode. Another very good episode. Like I said, it did feel a little faster than some of the other ones. I don't know if that was just me, though. But we have kind of... Okay, so we have Shinomaki really dead set now on her artistic path, thanks to Kyoya. We have Nanako very dead set on her musical path, thanks to Kyoya. I guess next time we'll probably be focused on Tsuruyuki, probably, and his direction, although I feel like he's already fairly confident in where he's going. So maybe we don't. Maybe we then focus on Kawasagawa and what she wants to do. Maybe we focus on her a bit more this time? I don't know. I guess it would make more sense to focus on her than it would Tsuruyuki, just because, let's be real here, this is a harem-esque type show. That's not the actual intention, but you can tell how there is a harem-esque option here. Kyoya and Shinomaki definitely seem like the main route, as it were, based on the way it's been shown so far and their interactions. Nanako is kind of the tsundere type. Well, it's hard to say. But like Nanako and Kawasagawa obviously have their interests as well, and Kyoya has some interest in Kawasagawa thanks to the past as well. And you can see how Nanako Kyoya is starting as well, so it's like, yeah, you've got the harem elements there, and like I said last week, I don't know if they're going to focus much on a romance element of this show, or keep it like vague as we have done so far with development. I really do think he should end up with Shinomaki, though. I feel like they gel really well together. It's not just because it's Aokoga voicing Shinomaki either, as much as I love Aokoga. Aokoga. God damn, I can't speak. But I do think they make a really good pair so far with how they've been shaped this season. But yeah, I just saw here that Mikio Sugimoto, who is the opera type guy, who we just saw briefly this episode as he was on his way out, is played by Fukushi Ochiai. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. I'm assuming it was him doing the singing as well. I'm going to assume it was him doing the singing. Does he actually have a singing career of note? Because, like, he won Best New Actor Award at the 13th Seiyu Awards in 2019. Not bad, not bad. He's done some Japanese dubbing. It doesn't seem to have anything musically, so did he just bust that out, or did they get someone else to do the little singing bit there? I can't tell. If he did just bust that out of nowhere, then how are you not getting some more performance roles based around that? But interesting. That's just a fun little tidbit. Relatively new to the scene as well. He's in those Snow White Notes, which is a show we didn't really keep up with. He was also in It Invaded. Nishimura. Who the hell was Nishimura? I don't think he was any of the main people there, was he? Oh, he's Kura Department, okay. So yeah. Okay, yeah, not as big a character. But yeah, another good episode. I'm really enjoying this show. I'm really enjoying this show, and I'm glad to see that it's getting the appreciation it deserves. I mean, it's currently at a 75% rating. It's bouncing between 75 76 as the show goes on. It's got decent viewership figures as well, like actually really decent viewership figures for a show of this type. So I'm glad it's getting the recognition it deserves, because this is genuinely a really enjoyable show, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. And I'm getting very attached to these characters so far, and I like Kyoya. One of the biggest things I have with most of these types of shows is ultimately I'm never too liking... I don't like the main character too much, typically. It's like, I always like the side characters and everyone they build around him, but the main character never kind of connects with me. I like Kyoya so far. Like, I know the whole thing is like, you've been transported 10 years into the past, why not invest in stocks, or warn people of natural disasters? Because in Japan, there's probably a lot you could discuss, like, what's the one that I would come to mind there? Was it 2011 tsunamis? When was the big Asian tsunamis? It was 2004 was one of the big ones. Was there one in like 2011? I'm trying to remember. (2011) magnitude 9 earthquake. Yeah, there it is. The Great East Japan earthquake. Estimated 38-meter high waves. Oof. 20,000 dead or missing. 500,000 evacuated. And yeah, that was the nuclear power plant meltdown. Yeah. So in theory, he could warn them about that in 5 years, but how do you warn someone like that? Like, you're just a crazy person if you start predicting, like, oh, in 5 years' time, there'll be a huge tsunami that destroys this part of Japan. It's like, well, it's Japan. There's always a chance of something like that potentially happening, I suppose. Like, that's just the nature of where they are at based on the tectonic plates and stuff, right? There's always a risk of potential earthquakes triggering the tsunamis. Like, not so much going to happen here in the UK. Like, there's not as much activity, so things like that don't tend to happen. Our natural disasters are like so minuscule. Like, the worst we get is flooding for the most part. We'll have some pretty bad floodings at times, but that's as bad as it gets typically. There was one Christmas we had a pretty bad one, 2013, 12. I forget when it was, but there was a pretty bad flooding one year that we were out of power for a few days over Christmas, which was kind of disappointing. But yeah, that's usually the worst that we ever get it. We never have like these huge disasters like tornadoes or hurricanes or tsunamis or earthquakes, things like that. Like, we'll have earthquakes, but like they're usually like, I don't even know what the worst one we've had is. Like, the worst one I can remember, I don't even remember ever experiencing earthquakes, so they're usually not in the south of England. At least not where I'm from anyway. So anyway, that's going to do it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the one as per usual. Leave a like if you did, as well as your comments for the episodes. Don't forget to hit subscribe as well to see next week's episode, as well as the rest of the summer 2021 line you can find here on the channel. Thank you for watching. Till next time. See you guys later.